if you were thinking of getting into the wildlife game through my affiliate links, which you should, let me save you some plight. I have discovered things that astronauts are still asking me about to this day, even though being an astronaut is a fake job because our Earth is flat. There's nothing up there.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I figured I'd bring you out in nature with me. I got some cleats, so no more slipping. Is this good content? Probably not. They slip on, very icy death. This thing was sheer ice. I fell 15 times. We'll live. We got the Sony a7S III, 100 to 400 G Master, 2x teleconverter. This has some problems. You'd think we'd be done with the search. Like, okay, we got the best stuff, full frame, 800mm reach. Or do we? What I've noticed, when I put this 2x teleconverter on, my footage is now jittery and nervous, like it drank coffee. It used to be bullshit Sony stabe, unusable, but then we added in jitteriness. Even in slow-mo, I don't like it. I'm not inspired by it. It hurts. Couple that with the fact that Sony's now playing the Canon game where we segment all our products. They're not going to add animal eye detect autofocus in here because it's in your ZVE10. And we got to protect that lineup. So it's like, I feel ashamed to own this. And it's really annoying when I switch back to do a studio video. We got animal eye detect on even though it doesn't work. And it's like, why? This is really annoying to use as a hybrid. The 12 megapixels, couldn't take a photo if you tried. I have tried. So that has me looking elsewhere. What's better? What would be, like, I don't mind that this is the heaviest thing on the planet right now. Even though gravity doesn't exist in a flat earth-like manner, I still feel the density of it. But I would like something smaller, but just really what I'm looking for, more stable, better image, easier to do. So I went to Henry's the other day. Let's all go to Henry's tonight. And I tested a bunch of stuff that I was curious about. Like, what could I upgrade to? Something for my Olympus, Panasonic, Fuji. So I tried. I had my Olympus EM13 with the 75 to 300. I took some footage, some bullshit footage of a bag. And then they had the 300mm Prime Tony 4 sync stabe with it. So I try that thing, and it's not very stable at all. I was like, what is this? This is sync stabe? Like, this is the best you can do, Olympus? I was like, my God. So that, I cried in the bathroom for 30 minutes, and then I came out and said, do you have the 100 to 400? Let me try that. Even worse, as we expected. But there's a couple things about that lens that were shocking. Not only was the stabe not good, and we're talking Olympus here. For vlogging, they're the best. But for wildlife telephoto, they're the worst. From what I've seen, maybe not the worst. Better than Sony. Barely. Barely. But the 100 to 400, their manual focus was jumping around. It was completely inaccurate. I had that thing in a cart. In eBay, I was ready to pounce. I was like, why not? 800mm reach. I could dig that. Unusable. Until you try these things, man, nothing in the spec sheet said manual focus unusable, by the way. And the stabe is shit. So that lens is off the hook, off the list. Off the hook meant good things in hip-hop language. Oh, I messed that up hard. So at this point, Olympus has died a slow death in my heart. Not only will I not be upgrading to the OM1, there's no lens. Unless you get that $10,000 lens. But from what I've seen, Olympus's sync stabe sucks for handheld. This is the thing. If you want the ultimate quality, you're on something like this, maybe a Prime 400 2.8, and you're on a tripod. That's not my life. That's not what I'm aiming for. I want to go for walks. I see something, boom, we get it, and then I continue walking. That's what I want to do. And so, like, this is a little heavy for that. It's kind of stupid. But I don't need the ultimate image quality. I need stabilization that matters. So Olympus is unfortunately dead for me. So we went to the Fuji. Now, my friend had the X-T4 with the 70 to 300. I filmed a different target for some reason, so we can't compare the Olympus to the Fuji. I'm a moron. But I wasn't planning on making a video with this footage. I just wanted to see for myself. And so I try the 70-300, and that is always, it's the most stable thing I've seen. That lens stabe is epic. Fuji, amazing. From what I've heard, the 100-400 is slightly worse. And on paper, it says it's 5-stop stabe. The 70-300 is 5.5. So it is better on paper and in real life, or is it? So I did a little side-by-side test with the 70-300 and the 100-400, and it seemed like the 100-400 was slightly less stable, but still very good. Very natural looking. So I was like, you know what? That's good. That's a good lens right there. And it gets a little further in. It's actually quite a bit sharper than the 70-300. It wasn't too heavy. It was lighter than this, but barely. This is like 2,500 something grams. The Fuji was 2,155 with the X-T4, the lens hood. Nobody's weighing the cameras with the lens hoods. So slightly lighter than this. Less reach now because I got the 2x teleconverter, but I tell you, like, that brings problems to me. The only thing I didn't like about the Fuji 100-400, besides its behemoth stature, was the focus ring was a little stiff for my liking. I like the 70-300 ring. It's much better, and this one's really good. Nice and smooth, one finger operation. I feel like with that 100-400, you have to double hand it, double finger and a thumb. All your attention's on that. There's no little finger wiggle focus. It doesn't have it. So what I have concluded from the Fuji test was, I think the 100-400's worth it, but you might, if you can even find one, get a 70-300 and then wait for that 150-600 coming, and those two should complement each other better. You have your lightweight 70-300 if you just want to, like, not bring a serious thing with you. You're just going for a little walk. Oh, I'll get some shots. You strap that on your vest, and then you're good. And if you want the ultimate quality, then you go for the 150-600, and you just switch back and forth. Whereas if you got the 100-400 now, it's too similar to that one. They're both big and heavy, but you have less reach. They're not going to complement each other. So we learned stuff. The last piece of the puzzle, which he didn't have in shop, was that Leica 50-200. I wanted to see what that would be like with the teleconverter. So I'm thinking 2x teleconverter on micro four thirds, that's giving you 28 light. I feel like that's not going to be good. Like, bad things will happen. And the stabe might be weird. I think that system's also dead to me. So we really only have 2 options. 3 if you have a lot of money. There's a dog. The direction I'm leaning right now, I'm thinking Fuji X-T4 and the 70-300, possibly selling off the G Master lens here, and then waiting for the XH2, hopefully that's an upgrade, and the 150-600. Because the only other options as I'm seeing it is like a Canon full frame, but I don't like their segmentation. It really kills the wildlife videographer's dreams. It doesn't have everything I need. The R5C loses stabe and animal detect autofocus, but I can edit the files in that one probably. The R5, it overheats. What if I want to just do 4K 120p? Oh no, the hawk is mating with an owl for the first time. I can't. Why are you trying to rob me of an elk? An elk. I could have had one. So it's like, Canon, I can't see it. And that's a lot of money to dump into a system that won't even play on my computer. And really, you could go Sony a7 IV or A1 even, and then just do it. But the stabe is bullshit. I don't like this jittery stabe. The 200-600, will that be better with no teleconverter? Probably. But then I can't fit it in my backpack. I can't go anywhere. So really, it's only then Nikon with your 100-400. That ain't long enough. It ain't long. Help. Help. I'm I'm losing my mind. If you're curious, I did some 1080p 60 frames per second in APS-C mode on the A7S III versus 4K 120p cropped in post 1.5 times to match it. It's hard to tell, maybe I missed focus in one, but it seems like the 4K is still sharper, and there would be zero reason to ever use Sony A7S 1080p in your life. So my buddy said he saw a 70 to 300 on sale, and we also have a guy selling a Fuji X-T4, so I might just pounce on that, try it. I've already tried it 100 times and I love it, but I think that's the ultimate, just walk around, pretty lightweight, good quality. It's not the most reach. I was thinking 1.4 times teleconverter with it, but teleconverters are in the same category as third-party lenses to me now. Just things like that, just don't mess around. A lens was designed one way. Don't play with God. Oh my god, a red squirrel. Oh, it's so fast. I have too much going on right now. I can't handle this. He's being so still now. Oh god, there's a hawk. Why? Why me? So what? That's what he's worried about. I get it. So just move. You're fast. You're faster than him. I believe in you. If you won't believe in yourself, run around. Do something. Probably not worth it. I see it. So those have been my thoughts. We learned a lot. Going to a camera store, it helps so much just to be able to test. And it's like, wow, that manual focus, unusable. So Olympus, you're dead to me. Panasonic, you're pretty much dead, I think. Fuji, you're alive in my heart. Sony, you're dead to me. The stabe, you're bullshit. Canon, maybe. We'll see if I can get my grubby little hands on one. 100 to 500. Canon R5C. That could work. That's a hawk. Can you see it on the GoPro? Nah, I doubt it. Don't film with the GoPro. You'll miss every shot. So I'm gonna leave. Thank you for buying everything through my affiliate links. What do you think? Fuji? Am I right? I think so. I'm wrong. I'll regret it. Subscribe. You won't regret that. You might. You will.